Hey,
Oh my God,
are we live now?
hey, y'all.
Oh my God.
What the hell? Y'all don't even know. I apologize that we're late. We didn't realize we were late.
Y'all
We've
missed,
been
y'all,
we've been telling y'all stories.
y'all missed one hell of a damn show. Just me and Misty got to enjoy it. We thought we was live, and I decided, I was like, hey, why can't I pull this up on my phone? This is like, the show ain't started. We
God,
realized that we're not really live.
y'all, I don't know what the crap. I'm literally done the intro. Look, it just now popped up. I don't
Yeah.
know what
Yeah,
in the
we're on my
world's
phone
going
now.
on. Guys, I am so sorry. I'm telling you, my internet and everything has been freaking weird. I'm running off my hotspot again. We literally sat and told y'all like 5 stories already.
Oh, they were good ones too, wasn't they? Oh, my good ones.
Show's over. Peace out.
Yeah, we're sorry, y'all. We was having a wonderful time back here. Look, I'm done on my 3rd cup of coffee. These big cups too.
Oh God.
I've done burnt some of the prettiest pipe tobacco y'all ever could have smelt.
I don't even know. How does that even happen?
I don't know, but hey, look, if we come up gone, y'all start messaging. At least we're
Guys,
seeing it that way.
listen, okay, since we're already late, no moonshine, 100%. I'm drinking coffee too and Sprite.
No, this is tobacco too.
We done the intro. We done said hi to all y'all, told you stories, made fun of Diane because she said she's gonna be going to bed, and Greg's over here going, what was it she
Like,
said?
hey, Diane, wake up.
Diane. Oh my Lord.
We've solved like world problems. We've created almost world peace, and y'all missed out on it.
Wendell said, we have to start over.
Golly, man. we've been having a whooping time.
This is what happens whenever we were literally just talking about this, said that we're more unprepared. Oh, wow.
Yeah, we prepared and became unprepared.
Yeah.
I don't know how it happened exactly, but it did.
Gosh.
I mean, we like had our game face on, y'all, and y'all missed it.
Man. I apologize. Okay. Yeah. No, literally, like we just went through how many stories? I kept wondering. I told Greg, I said, I can't see how many people's in here. And we would like talk to y'all. And then I thought, well, I guess they're not interested.
Oh, man, nobody's responding to us. Golly, I was wanting some chat interaction. I was like, damn, they stuck up as hell tonight. Then I was like, hey, Misty, I don't think we're live.
Don't tell them that.
I mean, hey, I don't need to lie about it. I just hate y'all missed out. I mean, look, me and Misty done gave out the secrets to turning water into fuel, cure for cancer. We done gave all that out, and y'all missed it all.
Yeah, blame it on Spencer.
No.
Man. Yeah, you know what it is? It's them freaking. I told you them owls was messing with me.
Done had hoot owls trying to attack her and everything else.
Okay, guys, I am sorry. I apologize that we are late. That is my fault.
Hey, look, we here though. We made it.
We did it. Now we got to start over. So I don't even know where to begin now.
All right, let's see. What did we start a while ago? That was how to make rocket fuel from Fritos and something else, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. I know. Catherine said we waited. Well, we appreciate it.
Hey, Catherine's hanging there. Catherine didn't give up on us. Catherine hung in there.
Wendell said, didn't you notice no one was interacting?
That's what gave it away. I thought, damn, everybody's stuck up as hell tonight. What is wrong with them?
Greg finally goes, are we live? And I was like, yeah, we've been live. And then nobody said anything. And then we were like, what happened? Maybe we're not live. Mm-hmm. So we weren't live.
I felt like, man, you was the poltergeist, and we was just trying to interact. Nobody could tell it. Man, her was in purgatory.
Yeah, he said y'all was stuck up as hell. Okay, we'll try it again.
Where did we leave this off at? We talked about all kind of goodness.
PJ, no wonder y'all kept saying, okay, now that makes sense. She was like, we thought y'all fell asleep. Everybody
Oh my
kept
God.
saying, did woodwalkers fall asleep?
Oh, I'm telling you, we were solving more problems right here. Nobody helping us.
Oh, man.
Look, Roger. Well, Roger could have been on here, but no.
Nobody's home.
I'm just proud nobody gave up on us. I mean, Dad got look, while ago when I looked, there's like 30, 36, and now we got 65 folks. See what it was, Misty was pacing herself, was waiting till the crowd got up there where it needed to be to hear this.
Diane said, all of us hanging there. I kept waiting and waiting to turn off my lights. I'm sorry.
Hey, you missed it, Diane, because we saw where you posted earlier that that she was gonna be going to sleep or whatever. And I told Misty, I thought I was telling everybody, I said, yeah, so like every 5 minutes, I'm gonna just go, hey Diane, wake up.
Yeah. Look out, Diane.
I mean, we got to laugh. We thought, man, nobody else thought that was funny. Oh, come on.
All right. Yeah. So I guess let's start over.
Yeah, Hillary done let me know about D&M show. She couldn't figure out why I wasn't in chat, but I had to go home and take care of things there, and I was listening, but I just wasn't in chat. But now Hillary was checking up on me.
Hillary, she said, I was fixing to call you.
Yeah, she's gonna take care of me. So all right, let's light this firecracker and let's see if we can rewind and start over and get some more laughs out of somebody besides me and you, apparently.
Yeah. Roger said, I almost texted y'all, too lazy.
Everybody almost did, didn't they? Yeah.
We appreciate that y'all, was so excited in chat that you went 15 minutes without even missing us.
No doubt. Roger's been entertaining people.
Oh.
We're trying to save up money or raise money right now. We're gonna get Roger a new hover round or a wheelchair or something because he's broke down on us.
Yeah. All right. Well, here, how about you start over and tell?
I talked about the LBL deal. Then we got spun off on. I guess I could go back over my LBL deal. That where we won't start off?
Yeah, go ahead. We'll try it again. Hopefully it stays on here.
The second time I won't do near as good as I did the first time.
That's hey, me too. You get what you get this.
Hey, look at here. I'm just glad they're here, ain't you? Look here, we done got 2 more folks, Misty. We got 69 with us.
Man. I mean, we were
my favorite lotto numbers. Anyway, all right, look. About 5 or so years ago, 6 maybe, was the first time that I'd ever got to go to the LBL. And we went up there, and there was several folks. It was Coonbo and Troy Allen and me and Cheryl Corntassel and Jimmy Osmer and Nate Bolin and Jack Oberkirk. There was several of us up there. And we'd been going out at night, going boogering. And we'd had some pretty good activity and had some creepy howls for sure. But anyway, during the daytime, me and Troy decided that since that was the first trip I'd ever been up there, that we would loafer around and just ride around and see the place. And for anybody that's ever been, you know what I'm talking about. But to other people, it's hard to imagine because the LBL is like any other rural farming community or out in Appalachian communities. You can ride down through there and you can see where there's like culverts, where there was driveways for houses. And you can tell where, looks like barns used to be, pastures, farming fields. But it's like you took a big giant eraser and just rubbed out the civilized part of it, all the structures. But the one thing there is the churches and the cemeteries. Some of the cemeteries are at churches and some of the cemeteries may be just out in the woods, scattered in the trees. But Troy and I got to riding around, and I'm not going to say where exactly we were at, but there was an old church kind of on a little knoll or hill. And the cemetery was right there in the churchyard. Well, Troy really got freaking out when we got pretty close to that place, and I just kind of felt uneasy. Well, there's a road that went right by that church. You could turn and go down it, and it was a gravel road, and it was washed out pretty bad. But on my map, it showed that went down to the lake. And I'm not even going to tell you if it was Lake Barkley or Kentucky Lake, but it went down on the shores of this lake. It didn't just go in the water. It went right to it, and it went around the bank. And we got down there, y'all, and it was creepy. I mean, horribly creepy, because it's trees on both sides. The road's real narrow. And part of it, where they cut the road, it left a dirt wall like higher than my truck. And it was like, okay, something's fixing to dive off on top of this truck. We need to be out of here. And Troy's like, look, dude, we're in a bad place. We got to get out of here. Well, the thing about it, like going back from the creepy part in the woods, back by the church, when you went by the church, it was really creepier than, being down in there in the woods past it. We just kind of thought, well, maybe there's a booger or dog man, something up here that's spooking us, and we just don't see it. We got out and we rode around some more that day, and we got back where everybody else was, and we was talking to Coonbo and told him kind of like where we'd been and what had happened. He's like, no, wait a minute. Y'all were where? We told him the little church, told him. He said, that's over there. I said, yeah. He said, y'all need to be over there. I'm like, why? He said, well, that place is not the place you want to be. We're like, what are you talking about? He said that place has had a bunch of ghost sightings in that cemetery. That they've even seen something over there that they wanted to chalk up as like a skinwalker. And I was like, that would have been useful information. That's kind of like need to know, and I really need to know that shit because I'm not going back over there. And but it was I asked him, I said, well, what are they seeing? He said, well, the ghost was rumored to be what a lot of people had saw was like an older man, 60-year-old or older, and he was dressed in like, I would say like 1920s to 1940s apparel is clothing. And the man was dressed very nice. And it was like, there was rumored that this spirit or man, whatever you want to call it, would even like wave at people. He would nod at people and would even had been known to like vocally say something. And a lot of times that it would go down that the guy had, like if somebody approached him, that he would say something. And if they ever looked away and looked back, he was just gone. He just vanished. So I just took and like, we'll mark out on Greg's one and done visit list. So I don't have no more business over there. So, but, and then we got talking about, I was asking Misty for her to go into detail on some of the stuff that we'd been on another boogering adventure. And, everybody in the camp or a bunch of them in the camp's like, hey, we're going to go up here to this cemetery at like midnight and let's go see if we can have something happen or stir up some haints or spooks or maybe a Bigfoot or something will yell. And I'm like, what are you going with us? I'm like, nope. I'm going to sit right here by the fire. I'm going to sip some bourbon and I'll wait on y'all to get back. Just don't bring home people latched on to you, spirit or physical or whatever. Y'all just come back by yourself.
Yeah, so, wipe your feet.
Yes, wipe your feet before you leave the cemetery. So Misty, tell them about y'all's experiences y'all had that night.
Yeah, Ray wanted to know if it was cool out here tonight. It's getting that way. It's starting to get damp. I can done tell it from the way my throat's getting, but it was really hot here too. I didn't know if I was even going to be able to start a fire, but it turned off cold quick.
Naoma fan. Oh my God.
She wants
to be a ghost lady someday, but not in white. She wants to be a ghost lady. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Hey, Naoma. Hey, I wish I could tell stories like Naoma can.
That's right. I know. She does really good.
She does.
Well, we went to gosh, was it LBL or Daniel Boone? It may have been Daniel Boone. We go to so many places.
I know that one was Daniel Boone.
The one where me and
because remember when y'all left the campground, y'all went on down that road toward where it dead ends. And I stayed me, Larry Porch, Al, and Colt, and Jim stayed.
Yes, that's right. It was. Okay, see, I was thinking LBL because we always go to cemeteries everywhere. No, This was LBL. This one was LBL. The one where Rebecca seen the ghost girl. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We actually were boogering and took a ghost box with us. I had Larry bring one. I was like, if you got one, bring it. We're going to play around with it a little bit. And so me and Debbie Porch and a bunch of us all walked up to the cemetery. But excuse me, maybe, gosh, I keep wanting to think maybe it was Daniel Boone. Okay, look, it's late again. It's Daniel Boone or it's LBL, but one of the cemeteries. We go to all kinds of them. So they stayed at the bottom, and me and Debbie walked all the way up to the top. Well, a couple of the guys stayed about midways, and we're walking up through there, and we've got the ghost box, and we're asking questions, and we're not getting anything through it, and we finally turn it off, and because we start getting more. It seems like without it, you start getting these weird, creepy feels. And so me and Debbie start, talking to it, just anything that's there, seeing, if we can get any kind of response. And we start hearing like what sounds like a woman or a girl moaning or humming. It was really hard to tell because it was so low and so faint, but we could both hear it. And we just look at each other and we're like, "Are you hearing that?" And so, we keep talking to it and talking to it. And the next thing you know, we're smelling what smells like vanilla and cigars. Well, yeah. So, we're going back down and we're talking to Larry and him. And I think it was Larry and Eric. And we're like, "Y'all, you're not going to believe what's going on up here." And so we didn't even know it. But by the time we get back to camp and we're all sitting around talking about it, Mark goes, "Did you talk to Rebecca?" I said, "I ain't seen her yet." And he said, "Did she tell you that while we was standing there that she pointed up on the hill and said, right there's a little girl." And she talked about what she was wearing, how she looked. I don't hold me to this, but I'm thinking that she said she looked to be probably around 6-8-year-old, knee-length dress, uh, um, I forget maybe blonde hair, I think is what she said. But we get back, and I've got a girlfriend that I went to school with who has moved away from here, but I still talk to her some, and she knows about the trips and things that we do. And I'm not going to say she's psychic, but she's really good at picking up on a lot of stuff, and she's pretty much psychic. I mean, we'll just go ahead and say it. And so I call her when we get back, and I'm like, "We had some stuff going on." I said, "And I want you to tell me if you can pick up on any of it." And we're sitting there talking. I don't give her any kind of details on any of it. And I think I told her that we were hearing what sounded to be female, and she said that was a little girl. She said she looked to be maybe around 10, 12. She said, but she's small for her age. She said she's real sickly looking, skinny, like she's got something wrong with her. Knee-length dress, and she said something about the what was it? She even told me, I think, what she thought happened to her, like some kind of not plague,
illness, fever, or something.
Fever, yes. I think she said it was like scarlet fever or something like that. And she even told me, and I've got this stuff all wrote down in a notebook, and she gave me a couple of names to check. And she said, "Go, when we're done," she said, "see if you can find out anything about these." Well, she said the cigar or the smell that you was smelling, she said that was a cigar. She said it was an older gentleman. She told me about, I think she said late 60s, early 70s, maybe somewhere around in there. But she said that he's got on like a suit, but he's got a vest type, like one of the button-down vests. And she said, and he's standing there smoking a cigar. And she said, he probably died of cancer, is what I'm picking up on. Is she said, because he looks kind of sickly too. And she gave me some letters that she thought that his name started with.
Yeah.
And so I've got to try to go back and go check this. I've not been back to go to that cemetery. But yeah, that's when I got to talking to her and talking to Rebecca. They don't even know each other. I mean, and they're just, the age is all that was different. And I think that was because the little girl was sick from the way she talked. She said she was really small for her age. And Rebecca said she thought that she seemed to be around, I think she said like 6, 8 year old. So.
Well, Misty, what about that dude that's doing all the videos right now? That's got him one of those spirit box things, and he's going around washing the tombstones, and he's getting all those recordings of people speaking. Is that wild?
That's crazy. I know. And telling him thank you for doing it. I've got my town alarm's going off.
That thing was going off the other night when me and you was talking.
Do you hear it?
Yeah, I hear something. I didn't know if that was an alarm or what that was. Yeah.
It's strange.
That might be an alert for the aliens have landed.
I'm telling you, it's been weird. It's always weird. It's weird or it's nothing. You know what I mean? That's the thing. I don't know why that would be going off.
How many of y'all here in chats had a ghost encounter? Something you couldn't explain. I mean, it might be a booger invasion, Hillary.
I tell you what, Haywood, whenever we went to Daniel Boone, and was walking around, Kane was using one of the OWLZs, and that thing freaked me the heck out because all it wanted to talk about was bad stuff. Yeah. Oh, now I hear sirens.
Misty, what about please tell me that you've seen the video online where the little girls that look like they're 12 or so years old are they're like in the upstairs, and they're playing with a Ouija board, and the dad is like on the first floor, and he goes to the breaker box, and he finds it's like upstairs lights, and you hear the girls up there, and they're all freaking out because it's Ouija board, and all of a sudden he starts flipping the breaker off on, and oh my God, it was like a whole eruption of squealing and screaming and all kinds of stuff. And about that time they get calmed down, and he starts doing it again, and oh my God, it was horrible.
Look, PJ said she's seen several.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Mexico. Roger has.
That's extra scary because I wasn't sure enough to know how to tell a Hispanic ghost that I didn't want no trouble. I don't know what to tell.
Wow. There's so many people. I can't even. Neoma, Hillary.
God dang, Thad was thrown out of bed by a ghost.
Ray. Phyllis.
Well.
Oh. They said no thanks. I think Greg's right there with you.
Yeah. Judy. Look at her, Judy. Night shift nursing home.
Several. Kimmy said a few.
Golly.
Well,
what did Blue say? I missed her comment.
I can't.
Hold on, let me look. I can probably find it right here.
Oh, Stacy said I've seen a full body apparition.
PJ had one touch her.
Oh, I'm missing something. Oh, it's weird. It's a tingle feeling. Like wherever me and Rebecca had that happen at that grave in Alabama, the one that's been struck by lightning. We went and visited that, and because we were wanting to check it out, and we actually didn't feel anything right there. It had nothing. It was just like going just to a graveyard, but we got to walking around, but we didn't walk together. We walked separate, so we couldn't like feed off each other on what was going on. And we would go back and tell Mark what we were feeling in that area, and see if it kind of, tied in together. And we actually walked to where there was some children's graves. And I know you can't, people say, oh, if you think it's children, or they let you think it's children, that it's not. We were literally standing at kids' graves.
Yeah.
And you could feel them. They literally something retch up and would get a hold of your hand.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
you could feel it. I can't even explain how it feels.
No, I'll take your word for it. But look, I got to say, David Hughes there said he'd seen some pasty white people. David, I am that pasty white person. Have you know? And look here, I am freaked out by Kimmy's. Kimmy said that she saw a Indian chief in full headdress.
Oh, wow.
How weird would that be?
That
God.
would be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, David Hughes, I have to kind of like, if I go to the beach, I have to identify as two colors, snow white and flaming red, because it don't take but about 20 minutes and I am burnt up.
Bobby said, I don't mess with that stuff. Spirits are real. Yes, ma'am, they are.
Oh, yeah.
Has anyone dreamed of being with dead family members and it seems so real? Takes a moment when you wake up to realize it was a dream. Yeah, I have actually. And I also, when I was probably about 8 months pregnant with our first daughter, my cousin got killed in a car wreck when he was, I think he was 21. Him and another guy hit a tree head on and it killed him. Well, we were best friends, like me and his two brothers, and we lived like literally just right across the yard from each other, and that's who I grew up with.
Yeah.
And so I woke JR up crying and scared to death, and I told him, I said, little Chucky just got killed in a car wreck. No, he said, you're dreaming, go back to bed. I said, I'm telling you right now. I said, he got killed in a car wreck. And he said, I'm telling you. He said, just go back to sleep. He said, you've been asleep. You just woke up dreaming. Well, that was probably, I think it was probably about 2 something in the morning. It was up in the morning. And it was on a weekend because I know JR didn't have to go to work because it was about 8 or so when he woke me up. And I wish you could see the look on his face when he was standing there holding that phone and talking to my mama, and he just looks at me and he said, little Chucky got killed in a car wreck. He said around 2 something or whatever this morning. He said, and it was right when you said it was. And I said, I told you. He came to me in my dream and told me that he had got killed and that everything was going to be okay.
Yeah.
Not to worry. But for 2 or 3 weeks after that, because we actually bought their house that they lived in and moved into it. And I was back there laying in what was their old room because it was going to be the nursery. So I just go back there and I just lay down in the floor. I mean, this is just a few days or a week after it happened. And you know how it is when you miss family, and that you feel close to them, I guess. So I just went back there and just laid down in the floor and just laid there. And we always had this thing where we would poke each other in the ribs, like all of us. If we snuck up behind somebody or whatever, you just get them out in the ribs just to mess with them. Well, I was laying there trying to sleep. And next thing I know, I'm getting poked in the rib. Well, at first I thought, oh, Morgan's kicking or something like that. And it woke me up. Then it happens again. And then I'm like, okay. I'm like, is that you? And then it happens again. And I said, okay. I said, I know you're here. And I said, what do you want to tell me? And I said, I miss you. And I said, I hope you're, okay. And I hope, that you're not somewhere and that you don't want to be. And this gets me tore up talking about it because we were really close. But, he told me literally just, even though I couldn't see him, I could hear what he was saying to me. And he said that he's fine. He said, tell everybody that he loves them, that he's going to be okay and not to worry. And he said, I can't wait to see the baby. And I'm getting cold chills just talking about it.
You're giving me cold chills too.
I never knew he was there again after that.
Wow.
That was it. I mean, it's like he wanted to let me know that not to be in there and be sad the way I had been. Just, don't sit and dwell on it, that he was okay. So I needed to be okay.
Yeah. Wow. Well, Misty, look, David Hughes has asked 3 or 4 times about those boxes we were talking about. Can you kind of explain what that does and how they?
Yeah, I apologize, guys. I can't if I stop and look at chat, I get
No,
so sidetracked. I can't keep talking. So that's
you're doing.
why I was,
I'll scroll chat while you're talking, and you scroll it while I'm talking. So we're good. But just I know, David, I can't do a good job explaining it other than some of the videos that I've watched. These people will set this. It's just like an electronic speaker box or something, and somehow or another they can ask questions, and they'll get like a real short, like a word, or it's kind of a way for a spirit to answer you back where you can hear it.
it's a it runs off radio frequencies, and it'll scan real fast through a bunch of channels, and supposedly spirits can use that to pick out words to tell you what they're trying to say from those channels. That's the best way I can explain it to where it's but now I tell you, I want to try the Estes method. And I know if we get a chance to do that, I know there's got to be some of the girls that want to do that.
I don't know what the Estes method is, unless that's me getting in the damn car and driving really fast.
Hang on, let me catch back up in chat. I'm really far behind. Catherine said that gave
Feeling being watched and feeling. Look, I've had that feeling a bunch of times. Being watched and like something's making you leave. Yeah. Well, you know,
frequency.
Let's see what we got in here. Stacy Thrasher says she ain't scared of nothing. She'll try it with you.
That's what I'm talking about.
I put that ain't scared of nothing part in there. It come from me, but she said she'd try it with you. I was just adding a little something to it there, Stacy.
It is, David. It's it just runs off. You can set it to where it'll speed up and slow down to where it'll scan the channels slower or faster, and it'll just set in like that, and it's really loud and noisy. But when it hits something and it hits on a word, it may come out and be like, okay, for instance, like phone, just out of nowhere, or
well, like what we were talking about a while ago, that guy that he goes around to these tombstones, some of them like broke, some of them are just old and like moss real thick, and this guy carries a pump up sprayer and he'll coat them with, I don't know if it's bleach or what, but he'll coat them with some type of cleaner, and then he'll wash them, and he'll take a soft bristle brush and scrub them. Well, he's been carrying this box with him. You put it on the ground, it just be random some words come through. It's like it just say thank you, or it'll be like, it may be quick, it may be drawn out, but it'll say, some of them it may say happy now, it may say angry, or it'll just be random words will just start spitting out of this thing, and it'll be like different voices. It won't be like the same, like it ain't like, it's not like Siri talking to you. No, it's like some of it's male voices, some of it's kid voices, some of it's female voices. It's weird.
Yes, Hillary said you don't have to ask anything if you don't want to. Random things come through. They do. And the thing is, though, hang on just a second. So then if it speeds up, cycling through frequencies, and it's picking up on signal from another plane, then I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, that I'm not really sure. It's supposedly scanning through, isn't it? Is it AM channels? I don't use one because honestly, they work. Like, you really do get answers with them, but it's just like anything else. It could be just auto-generated words, and I can't bank on that being something that I can say, oh, that's 100%. So I mean, I know when I hear stuff, if that's on and it's so loud that I can't hear my thoughts, that's not what I want. I like being able, because sometimes I know this, and I'm not crazy when I hear voices in my head, y'all.
Most of the time.
Most of the time. But sometimes I do get stuff like that, just little certain words or short pictures, like movie pictures, uh, almost like a what are those? Like the old,
Like the real clips, like clips of reels.
yeah, when you sit and watch them on the old style.
I get them too, Misty. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and you see it almost looks like the picture's kind of doing like that, and yeah, that's how I kind of see stuff.
Yeah, that
You're
you
welcome.
saw the ones where they'll take they'll have like a ball that if you touch it, it'll light up. They'll lay that thing like a gravestone, and they'll start asking questions, and they'll say, if you're here with us, touch this ball, and it won't be just a second. You'll see that ball light up and go back off, and they'll say, okay, can you touch it again? Blip, the thing will come right back on. That's creepy as crap too. David, I don't know exactly what you call a flash impression. That's out of my wheelhouse. Well, when the words are, you're right. When the words are relevant, I'll spit her out in a minute. Relevant, but yeah, that's it's like they'll ask a specific question, and that thing, and a lot of times it'll answer something it makes sense. It's like you're really asking somebody that's there. Huh.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
I don't use one. We have one. We've got a bunch of equipment like that not too long ago. But I just, like I said, I don't like using them. They're loud and you can't really hear what's around you if you're trying to listen to that, if you're focused on something else. So,
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can get the OWLZ apps on your phone.
Yeah, we need somebody. So if Hillary, she's in here, she's had some encounters. Hillary, you need to send her a link, let her pop on here and introduce herself.
Yeah, anybody that wants to come on and tell some stories, I'll post an open link.
Yeah, somebody's got.
I remember that when Barry said he wouldn't never mess with another one.
Yeah.
Good night, Roger.
Not Tiny Dancer.
Oh, well, they missed the one about my girlfriend's sneaking into the cemetery.
Oh yeah.
Let me just...
PJ, look, PJ, you can jump on here with us. We won't tell nobody.
Yep. If anybody wants to come on, I will post a link.
Come on now. Somebody on there that's had an encounter.
You'll have to tell another story though while I get it ready. But I'll tell you this right quick. I had some girls that I went to school with, and they all snuck out and went to a cemetery and was doing stuff that they shouldn't have been doing, seances and messing with Ouija boards and things like that. And apparently stuff started getting real. They started hearing all kinds of noises, getting all kinds of weird feelings, hearing stuff and seeing shadows moving around them. Well, they got really, really scared, left everything, jumped up, took off running. Well, where they were at, it's not a really good kept graveyard. It's, you know what I mean, a bunch of tree roots and stuff like that, especially back in the older part of it. What is it? I can't read comments.
Well, go ahead. We'll catch you up in a second.
But they were out and got so scared that they just got up, took off, left everything there, and took off running. Well, that one caught her foot on a tree root. Hell, they just kept running and left her. They didn't even know it. I mean, they knew it when they got back to the car, but they had all met up and had drove separate anyways. So she wound up spending the night in the graveyard from what she says, and she swore up and down that something had a hold over her and she couldn't get loose and that something wouldn't let her scream. So
we would have been friends no evermore. If you'd left me in the cemetery and me hung up on, oh yeah.
Could you imagine? They said, I mean, it was horrible. Said it was almost to the point to where one, I won't say no names, but one of the girls She said, I swear, she said, I think I was about to have a heart attack. And she said, and I'm not kidding. She said, I was so scared. She said, I really could feel my heart like it was about to explode in my chest. But
Yeah.
that could have been a spirit too.
Oh, it could have been. But I'm just telling you, if we're in the goddamn cemetery and I get took out, something holding me by the leg, you just go on back to the damn house, forget about old Greg. I'm not going to say I won't never come to your birthday party, but if I do, it's to piss on your damn cake. We're done. We'd be done. Hey, look, Miss Pat's in here. Miss Pat, you ain't got nothing to do. You're just sitting there probably having to she's just chunking Twinkies over at Joe. Miss Pat,
you do have a light flashing. Do you have a TV or something on?
Looky here. That's the ambiance. That's that woodwick candle. Look here. This ain't no fly by night show here, Misty.
It's shining on it's glaring.
It's glaring on something, but look there. That's the sparkle effect. Look here. Like spook. This is my spook imitation.
Looks like you got ghosts.
Yeah. What I'm talking about. Look there. If you watch the light that you're seeing right in, it's all backwards. Right in there. If you'll watch it, matches the candle. So yeah, I just thought that was extra spooky.
Well, tell us another story. And yeah, he said nice spooky effect.
Yeah.
And I'll see if I can post a link.
Hey, look, something I was talking about a while ago, and that correct. You know, that's what spooks me out about spooks is me and my two buddies, Smith and Wesson. I don't know what you do with no spook. Now, I do have some high silver content rounds. I don't know what that's going to do if it zips through a vapor cloud of a spook, specter, or whatever. But look here. Let me just show you something here. This pure silver piece dangling right here. I don't know if y'all look here. Look here. See, there it is. See it there cross right here? Yeah, that's on old Greg everywhere we go. That about broke me down when they done my surgery on my foot. They threw a fit, wouldn't let me wear it. It's the first thing, as the first time that this necklace has been off my head in 12 years. Eat, sleep, shower, crap, and shave. That necklace is on me, and that's pure silver.
Yeah, no, that's a good thing to have. I was missed something. Oh, right. PJ saw an angel. Hold on.
And look here, I can quick draw the Lord's name faster than White Earp pull a pistol.
I seen there it is. Wait a minute, no, that's not it either. I can't find it. PJ made a comment about look, hold on. Look here.
What we got?
Miss Hillary.
I'm sitting in the darkness. I look like I just pulled out of a stump backwards.
Oh my God.
Good. Nope.
Hang on.
She ain't even gonna light a candle for us, Missy.
I can't find a damn candle.
So you're in the dark on purpose, or just what?
Yeah, I've been in bed because I've been taking antibiotics and I feel like poop.
Oh,
I'm getting ready to have oral surgery. I had damage to my teeth in a car wreck, and I've put it off because I'm scared of dentists. So, the antibiotics are making me sick, and if I wake up my cat, she'll hurt me.
Oh man, bless your heart.
Kitty. Poor kitty. And I've got a white trash kitty, I call her.
Well, when are you gonna have this oral surgery?
In the next couple of weeks, because I've put it off.
Wow.
Oh yeah, it's bad. It's gonna be bad because I'm big. I've had elective surgeries. I had breast reduction. I had a tummy tuck. I had gastric bypass. I've had 2 C-sections. I don't bat an eye.
Wow.
You tell me I got to go to the dentist. Like, no, I don't.
Well, Hillary, don't narrow it down too close, but what part of the country are you from?
Oh, I'm in West Virginia.
West Virginia.
Yeah, and look at me. For some reason, I'm crooked. Okay. Now, if this thing tumbles over, because I've got it on my leg, situated on my legs. If the cat jumps up on me, she'll. Okay, we're good. All right.
What's all right? Well, tell us what did you what kind of encounters have you had with some spooks and spirits or something?
Well, first of all, my friends and I, that was the only thing we ever wanted to do was hang out in graveyards and do spooky stuff, and all kinds of crazy stuff happened. We used to camp and they had a farm, and we camped. It was, we were only 10, 11 years old, and their parents would let us camp about 100 yards back behind the house up in the field. Yep. One night, their dad would always try to scare us. It was a brother and sister that were my two best friends. And one night we're sitting there, and I looked out and I saw a light outside of the tent, and I said, "Hey guys, your dad's coming early tonight." Okay, well, we unzipped the tent and stuck our heads out, and it was an orb. It was about as big as it was a little bigger than a basketball, but not quite as big as a beach ball. And it was like a creamy orangish light, and no sound, no nothing. And it was just silent. And we sat there and we watched it. Now, Stephanie doesn't remember it. Philip's in another part of the world right now. I haven't been able to talk to him about it, but I don't know if he remembers it or not. But I even asked my mom to make sure that I wasn't just crazy. She said, "You talked about that for a week." But we watched it for, I don't know, 10, 20, 30 seconds. And then I don't remember anything after that. No noise, no nothing. And we were right beside a graveyard. They had 3 graveyards within the furthest one away was the family graveyard, and it was about 100 yards away from us. Then there was one behind us that was owned by, well, not owned, but another family was buried in. I don't know how that worked out because it was a family farm. And then we had what we called the old creepy cemetery, which you walked into that. It was surrounded by old trees. You could hear noises, and it was really close to their house. You could hear noises coming out of this thing. And we would love to go in there. We loved it. But every time her mom would catch us going in there, she'd yell at us. Yeah, you could hear it all over the neighborhood. You could hear her yelling at us. But as far as ghost stuff, I've just been used to it. Let me grab my drink. My mouth is getting really dry. Hold on.
Go ahead.
Antibiotics drying my mouth out. Oh God.
Go ahead.
I want to fall over.
That's almost like that same trip, that we were just talking about. I'll tell you in this right quick while she's doing that. We were talking about the OWLZ, and it was me, Mark, and Kane. And I know some of you has probably heard this, but we were walking, and he was using that. And, we didn't take any recorders or anything with us because, anybody that boogers or whatever, most of the time, you usually get more activity when you're not, taking your equipment with you. So the only thing we had was Kane took his night vision, and he was using his phone. So we were getting all kinds of weird stuff on the OWLZ, and it just kept talking about demons and coffins and bondage, and I mean, like, really weird stuff. Yeah, no, I mean, it was really strange because that's whenever, I looked at Mark and I was like, "Don't threaten me with a good time."
Misty's like, "I understand the whips and the chains, but what's the damn cowbell?"
It was crazy. I mean, and it just kept saying the same things over and over and over. And I was like, "Okay, Kane, that's enough of that. You can turn that off."
You remember the video I sent you, Misty, right? About my friends. I haven't, I worked at the post office. I worked at a big processing center, 200-300 people on the floor. And I've known them all for years, but you don't know how freaky some of us are until you get us, until you work in close proximity. Well, I found a girl that was really into ghost hunting. And I'm like, whoa, she's my new bestie. So we went up to Moundsville Penitentiary here in West Virginia. And we went for the date. Now, what you watched was they required it. Well, they didn't require, but there was a daytime tour. And they had, some woman up there giving her spiel. And I was way in the back. And I'm sorry, I used my hand. Sorry.
No, you're
yeah, you go ahead.
They didn't want us to film the daytime tour. And I'm like, why? It's kind of stupid because I wasn't listening to her. I wanted to catch it so I could listen later. And that's really all I was doing. So we walked in. When you first walk into the cell block, there are 3 cells that are special cells that are for the worst of the worst of the worst. The one we went into, his name was Red Snyder. Now, you can hear actually in the video, you can hear her talking about it. He actually killed his own parents. He was an asshole. But his best friend, Rusty Lassiter, was his best friend. And they were allowed, him and whoever the third dude was, they were allowed out into the yard for, by themselves for, I guess, half hour, whatever, an hour a day, whatever. When they came back in one day, Rusty somehow, now these two were best friends. Rusty went into Red's cell and killed him. You know, I don't need any best friends like that. I don't know about y'all. I won't have any friends. I don't need them. But anyway, but that's the cell I was in. And I had, you know, I just went in, and you can hear me talking to my friend Rhonda. I said, Rhonda, this is Red's cell. This is where we need to be tonight. Anyway, as I go to, well, Misty, I don't know if you still have the link to that in your messages, but it's just a short video. But in the last, like, what was it, the last 5 to 6 seconds, you can hear this voice as I leave the cell say, "Hey," and I didn't hear it at the time. I didn't have headphones in. I was just filming to hear her, and I didn't hear it for 2 weeks. And I heard it was sitting in my bed on a Sunday morning, and my husband and all the kids were downstairs, and I heard it, and I threw my phone across the room. I went downstairs and said, "Oh my God, you're not going to believe this." And he, you know, listened to it. He said, "Oh, that's just," I said, "No, just shut up. Just shut up. Just shut up." So, you know, you can hear it. You can hear it playing. And I have had other people tell me that, and I ramble. I'm sorry.
No.
You're doing great. Just keep going.
He, I actually sent it back up to the women. There were just a bunch of women working up there when we went. Whoever the guides the tours. And I had a lady send me an email back, and she said, "That sounds like his voice." And she said, "That sounds like something he'd do because you were a woman and you were leaving his cell." And they said he really liked the women. I said, "Okay, well, it's cool." And I think that was 2010. I've had that thing forever. And, you know, it's just something that I did. But I lost a lot of things that I had. We had a flood in 2016 here in West Virginia. We lived at, check this. This is me. You talk about shit show Shirley. She ain't got nothing on me. we lived up literally on top of a mountain, and we bought a house, right? So we took everything we had, we put it in storage because we weren't going to be able to move in for about a month. It'd been in storage 2 weeks, and the worst flood in the area ever came through. We had 6 feet of water and everything. I'm like, you know, that's great. I mean, we had like 2 or 3 trash bags of stuff at my daughter's house where we'd been staying, but I lost cameras, I lost all of my equipment, and I lost all of my evidence. Just what I had saved here on YouTube. And I did have my, no, I hadn't made my ghost box at the time yet, but the ghost box thing, I made that. I actually went to Radio Shack before they closed, and I bought a transistor radio. And I just took the back off of it and did what they told me to do. You bend the electrodes down, and supposedly it keeps it from being able to catch the stations. And it, you know, it's kind of freaky when you're sitting there and it starts talking to you and you haven't said anything to it. You're like, okay, shut up. So my rule is I don't do that in my home. I don't set up voice recorders in my home because I'm going to get stuff. Because I've got all kinds of freaky stuff that goes on around me. But let's see, let me think. Other than the Red Snyder thing, and things happen to me all the time. I hear voices, which, you know, okay, you can chalk it up to whatever you want to, but I ignore most things that happen. But when I was, let's see, I'm 29 now. I'm joking. I had a daughter turn 29.
I've been 29 for 20 years.
Well, I'm happy with 39 right now because I just had my oldest daughter just turned 29 2 days ago. Oh, anyway, wow. Do what, Greg?
I said that. Wow, you're pushing on up there as many birthdays as I got then.
No, listen, I've got 4 grandkids and another one on the way.
Oh wow! Well, congratulations.
They call me Mimi. So yeah. Anyway, back to the story. Before I had kids, my first husband and I, he passed away, but we had moved back up here from Florida. We lived in Florida when we first got married, and I don't remember. Was it 93 or 94 when we had the big blizzard? What year was it?
93.
Was it 93? Okay.
March 93 was the blizzard.
When I moved back up here, of course, didn't have any kids, so I immediately got back in school. I was going to nursing school in the evenings, and I was working at the post office all day and all evening, just whenever. But I'd come home in the evenings, or when I came home. This particular time, I had worked, but I didn't have school that evening. So I came home, and it was was snowing really bad. And where we lived, it's just like where you guys live, I'm sure. Okay. You got a mountain that comes down here. You got a mountain that comes down here, and you got about 200 or 300 yards in between that's flat. Well, the house that we lived in, it was his mom's house, and it was on the side of the hill. Imagine. Anyway, there was on one side of us was well, there was the main road ran by the house, obviously. Everything was covered with snow. I'd been home for a couple of hours, and I had got up at one point and went into, and I was alone. He was down in the southern part of West Virginia. He was a pipeliner, and my brother and sister-in-law lived next door. So I went into the bathroom, and I'm generally, believe it or not, a quiet person if I'm by myself. So I went in. Yeah, shut up, Misty. I see that look. You're like, you're right. See, I don't get to talk to anybody.
You probably as quiet as I am.
Oh, we gonna be in here at 5 o'clock in the morning. I never get to talk to them. I talked to my cat, and she's laying here with one eye open, like, don't make eye contact with her. Poor cat. I love her. Anyway, so I go into the bathroom, and in the bathroom, the medicine cabinet. I know you guys know what I'm talking about. The mirror was one of these mirrors that had two side mirrors that you could pull out. Yep. So you had kind of this, I don't know why you want to look at yourself from all those angles, but hey, whatever. So I had the one side pulled out because I was actually getting something out of the cabinet. Well, about that time, I saw in the reflection of the mirror a man walk by the bathroom door. I didn't hear anything, but I saw, and I didn't drink. I wasn't ridiculously tired, nothing like that. But I'm like, I figured it was my brother-in-law because, like I said, they live next door. So, and again, we're in the middle of the snowstorm. And I go and I immediately, not even, 10 feet to the door, I look out and I look down the hallway and there's nobody there. Didn't hear a thing. I walked all the way in the direction that this person walked. Went all the way out into the den and out past the den we had a glass patio. Went out there and I looked, nothing. There's no tracks in the snow. I'm like, uh-huh. So I go back into the kitchen, and this was before cell phones, so I call my sister-in-law, who happened to be my cousin, but hey, that's a West Virginia thing. Anyway, so I said, Kim, is Rick there? She said, he's upstairs asleep. He works shift work at Union Carbide. I said, well, was he just up here? She said, well, no, he's asleep. Why would he be up there? I said, okay, never mind. So I kind of forgot about it. Well, when the man walked by, he had black hair, a white shirt, black pants, white socks, and black shoes. Now, how I picked that up, I don't know, but I did. And about 3 or 4 months later, I'm going through old photo albums. It was my father-in-law who died 2 weeks before I was born. I'm like, that's sweet. But my mother-in-law, in the meantime, she stayed in Florida in the wintertime. And when she came back, she came out of her bedroom one morning, and she looked terrible, worse than usual. She said, I said, what's wrong with you? She said, oh, Howard kept me up all night. And that was his name. I'm like, oh, she's crazy. And my husband said, what do you mean? Dad kept you up all night. Mama, what's up? She said, well, he bangs on the door, the glass door, 3 times every Wednesday night. Well, that's funny because I'd heard bangs on that door when I would sleep in that living room at night on Wednesdays. I'd heard it twice and just never said anything because I just, when something wakes you up, you after a while you're thinking, did I really hear that? But yeah, that was the ghost thing. But now my current husband, his brother passed away right before he and I started dating. And we were at his mom's house one evening, and the whole family was in the sitting at the kitchen table, or I'm sorry, the dining room table. And I'm sitting actually in the kitchen by the bar on a stool, and there's nobody behind me. Well, what happens? Somebody puts their hand on my shoulder. There's nobody there. And I knew it was him. And when we decided to name our son after him, on the way home that evening, we saw a double rainbow, which, neither here nor there, but it was in the wintertime, and you don't usually see a lot of rainbows in the wintertime. And we thought that was pretty neat. But other than that, I mean, I know I've got more ghost stories. I know I do. I should have written them down because I can't think when I'm on the spot. I better shut up.
We were the same way. We were so unprepared. I mean, literally, look, we talked to ourselves for 15 minutes. That's awesome, though. That was
Yeah.
great.
I wrote, it's lucky nothing ran behind you or a booger didn't try to get in the man cave. We missed it all.
Well, you know, I really wish one of these times that I could be doing something like that. And you never know when something's going to happen. Be doing one of these shows when something bangs on the wall because, you know, there's been 2 or 3 times when I've been live chatting at night with like River and David Blaylock, and they've heard it. They've heard it. And me be sitting here and all of a sudden it's like wham, and they see me jump, look at the door or look a certain direction wherever it comes from, and they're going, brother, we heard that. We heard that. I'm like, y'all heard that? And they're like, oh yeah, we heard it. So yeah, I've had witnesses, me sitting right here in this chair.
Yeah, I heard about that. Oh, I'd shit pink Twinkies.
I'll just be honest with you. I mean, I don't care to tell anybody. There's certain times when I'm here, and you know, I'm here by myself most of the time, and it's spooky. It get under your skin, especially when something goes to messing with the door.
I like being by myself a lot. I really do. When my mother-in-law passed away a couple of years ago, I stayed at her house, honestly, just to be alone. But you know, under the guise of cleaning the house out, and you hear all kinds of stuff in that house. And that's the house where brother died and his mother died. But I don't get scared. You know, he wouldn't stay over there with me. He wouldn't say as much, but you know, I know why. He was scared, I guess. But I mean, I'm like, even if there is something there and it does speaks to you or something, I said, it's your family, or you know, supposedly. But as long as nothing comes out and you know tries to murderize you, you know, hey, you're doing good. But,
yeah, I'll tell you, Hillary, one thing for me, I've kind of always just kind of believed because you know all these people are talking about ghosts and stuff, and I never had anything that I thought was an aberration, a ghost, or anything like that, except one time but some of these people heard me talk about it. I worked for a gas company for years, and then now I do heating and air work and work on my own business and do that. And I'm state certified to run propane lines, propane gas lines, and I work on furnaces and wall heaters and anything that burns propane, stoves, dryers, water heaters. And I still run a lot of gas lines. Well, several years ago now, I went down into Walker County, which this area is a spooky down place to start with. It's down around Carbon Hill. And I was down there, and this old guy, his family had owned a coal mine at one time. And the old guy still had a lot of money. The coal mine had been shut down, and what they'd done, they'd stripped a big part of their land and, got all the coal off of it. Well, this old guy got my phone number from, I really don't know how he got it, but he was needing some gas lines run. So I went to the guy's house and met with him, saw what he needed to do, and gave him a price on it. He's like, well, when can you do it? I said, well, I have to get the stuff to do it with. And all he was wanting done, he was wanting a gas line ran kind of across this old house. The house was built like the 1880s, 1890s. And it was a big old house. It was typical white with kind of the porch went around it. Mm. And it was 2-story. And this thing was back in the day would have been a mansion. But the house was old enough that it was originally built, and it was on big like field rocks that had been stacked. It was rock piers. And part of it, and the ground was sloping. So part of it, you could kind of crawl pretty easy, maybe 3 foot off the ground. But then the back part of it, it was low. I'm talking about low, like to the point, like to get under some of the beams. I actually had to take a claw hammer and dig like a little spot wide enough for me to go under a big old, like a hand-hewed log that was holding the main part of the house up. But anyway, I'd worked under that floor. I had to come out, give me something to dig with so I could get under it. And I liked about 12 or 14 feet where I had drilled the hole through the floor. I could see the light coming through, a round hole about a little bigger than your thumb. I saw where I had to go to, and I was by myself. The old man was in the living room, kind of on the other side of the house, and he done went to sleep in a chair. And this guy's probably in his 70s. He's there by himself and, lived alone. And I'm under the house, got this gas line. I crawl and then push it ahead and then crawl and pull it on. But I get over there and I had to go back out and get a hammer, and I dug a trench to go under this old sleeper. When I popped over, I had a little bit more room, but it was still low. But when I come out, I reached and caught the gas line and I slid it up. And my head is like, I'm up like this against the ground looking, and to my right side. And I'm talking about, it wasn't like way off over there. I heard it. But I'm going to say within what I heard was a voice. And it sounded close enough. I should have been able to just stuck my arm out and touch somebody in the face. But it sounded like about a 4, 5, 6-year-old little boy. And it was one word. And it sounded kind of like if you had, to me, it was like if you had walked up behind a little boy, or like if he just looked up and saw you. But it was like an excited, like surprised to see somebody. And it just simply, it said, hey. Just like, it just trailed off like surprised, like, hey.
I'd have made a hole in the floor.
Oh, shit. My fat ass about stood up through the damn floor. I mean, it freaked me out. I'm looking and I'm whooping around, got a little headlight, and there's nothing there. There's nothing. And I'm going, okay, now that wasn't a TV. Because look, this ain't like I heard it from way off. No, it was like close enough that I should have been able to reach out and poke him in the eyeballs. But there's nothing. There's nothing moving. There's no wind under there. No dust moving other than what I'm doing. And I'm looking where it come from. Well, just a little bit further than what I thought. You could see it was like the dirt was going, and then it just went off in a hole. And I'm looking, trying to, I'm rolling all this in my head, trying to figure out what's going on. So I kind of turn and crawl that way just a little bit. And I raise up all I can, and I'm looking, letting the light shine over in this hole. Well, this hole was, we'll just say probably a 3-foot across hole. And it was dug down, I would say 16, 18 inches or more. There would have been enough room for a small kid to have sat in the bottom of this hole. And it was like the side sloped down in the bottom. It wasn't just rounded. It was like a flat spot, like somebody had got in there and dug it out and made them a little area. And it's under this house. Well, when I'm looking in it, I thought, well, is this a damn well that somebody has covered up, or, with a house, or, is there a well, why is there a well on the house? But no, this thing was, it would have been knee deep if it had been out in the yard. Well, I look over in it and I see something down in this hole laying in the middle of it, and it's all shriveled up and wrinkled up, and it's about probably this long, that big around, and it's laying down, and it's tied shut up. Well, I reach over and grab it, and it was a leather sack or leather bag, and the top was wrinkled up, and it was stitched all the way around except the top, and it was pulled tight, and it looked like one of the square cut leather shoelaces like the old men's boots had, and it was wrapped round and round, and it was tied off. Well, I pick it up and I can tell something's in it, and this leather looks horrid. I mean, it is about rotted. Well, I shake it and I can tell there's something in it, but I'm not sure, and I'm like, I got to get the hell out of here. So I grabbed that and I had on a pair of coveralls, just like dinky coveralls to keep my clothes from getting this filthy. I shove it in one of those big pockets. I spin around and shove that copper line through the floor, like 2 hangers on it real quick, just tack them up there so it's not laying on the ground. I shimmy back out and go outside and go back up there. When I go back in the living room, like I said, the older gentleman that lived there, he was asleep. Well, when I opened the door and stepped in, the screen door slammed. He like rouses up. He said, "Are you done?" I said, "No, sir. I got the line pulled." I said, "I'm fixing to go in here and tie it to the heater." I said, "But I found something under the house that undoubtedly you must have lost a long time ago." He said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, you grew up in this house, right?" He said, "Yeah, I ain't never lived nowhere but here." He said, "But my family built this house in like 1880 something, maybe 1890, whatever it was." He said, my grandpa and them grew up in this house." I said, "Well, so you didn't play under the house when you was a kid?" Like, hell no, there's damn spiders and snakes under there. I said, "Well, look, somebody played under there." "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, right over by where the kitchen is on the low end of the house." I said, "Somebody has dug out a little pit, and it's big enough for a kid to sit up in and, could get on there and play where it was cool." I said, before they put what they had done is on the outside perimeter, later on, I think he said in the 60s, they had stacked concrete blocks and kind of made a foundation so it was dark. I said, "But look, dude, it wouldn't been that far from the outside wall And it would have been a lot coming under there. It would probably been cool in the summertime or even warmer in the winter if a kid wanted to get outside. I said, but I found something in this hole that's under that floor. He said, what do you mean? I just reached in my pocket and pulled that bag out. I said, there's something in this. He's like, tails in it. I said, I don't know. There's something in it. This bag was laying in there. And I said, it's about rotted. We took that thing and opened it, peeled that leather. The leather string was just nearly to nothing. Opened it up, dumped it out. And it was glass and clay, hard clay marbles, like little kids would have played with. It was a sack of marbles. And I can't remember now, but it was like 19 or 20, 21 marbles that was in this bag. But they were, some of them so old that they were made out of clay. And I told the old man, I said, so these ain't yours? No, them ain't mine. Hell no, they ain't mine. I said, well, they was damn sure under your house. I guess they are yours now. Well, he set them over there, set the bag all over on the shelf. And hell, far as I know, if the old man's still alive, they're probably sitting right there. But that freaked me out. I thought a bunch of times, I thought, well, is that the ghost of that little kid that used to play on there with them marbles or what? But I'm telling you, just as good as y'all are hearing my voice right now, I heard a little kid. And the only thing he said was, hey. And y'all, that was freaky.
I hear voices again, aside from the usual stuff, but I've heard my name. I've been completely alone at home. I hear my name. And my name's Hillary. It's not like somebody's just saying, hey, Kim. Hey, it's you have to hear that. You have to listen for that stuff. And I'll go, the one house we lived in where I heard it the most, it was a big house. It was like you walk in and you've got, it was 4 levels. So I'd be searching for an hour looking for who's hollering for me.
Wow.
I do that all the time. Yeah. I'm constantly, I'll look at JR, somebody, and I'm like, what? He's like, what do you mean? I'm like,
my husband does it. My
just yelled for me. And he's like, I didn't say a word.
Both of us, I'll be here. And, the way the bedroom is situated, the door's over here. There's really not a lot of, nobody can walk. If somebody walks by the door, I can't see it because they're going to walk into the other wall. But I'll see shadow, what I consider a shadow person. Or I'll see what I think is somebody. And he does the same thing. Of course, it might just be we're getting old and crazy. But
well, now, what you just touched on, what she touched on right there. Now, I have been places where I'd get the creepy feels. Mm-hmm. And I would sit, like I'd be sitting here looking at this. And over here on the side, because I've got one hell of a peripheral vision. My peripheral vision has always been awesome. But I swear to you, it's like I see somebody like step through a doorway, like an upright figure, just zip. But if I look, it ain't nothing there. Mm-hmm. So I've always chalked it up as just like a shadow or a trick of light, something, a floater in my eyeball. I don't know. I've seen a lot of that in my lifetime. I just could never. What I'm talking about, I've never seen nothing that, like people will say, well, yep, it was an old man. He was wearing, a boonie hat or something like that, or narrow it down to like a little girl in a white dress. Or no, I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah, and when it happens, like the thing with my father-in-law, if it happened right now, I'd be up on the ceiling. I mean, but it doesn't. Things like that, they don't scare me when it happened. I mean, the things like that don't scare me when it happened. My husband and I went down to Radford, Virginia, to the St. Albans Sanatorium, and they had a class where they would teach you to be a paranormal investigator. And we're in there all night long, and I'm just flaunting up and down the hall. I love it. It doesn't scare me. I love when things like that happen. Now, I won't sit and watch a scary movie because I just think they're stupid. But like now, The Conjuring, I do love The Conjuring. But my husband lays in the floor in the fetal position and cries like a girl. So I don't want to make too much noise because if he hears me, he's going to think I want to talk to him. I'm terrible.
Well, I'm telling you, there's a lot of people that go to these haunted hotels and they go to places. And my mother's first cousin, which, my second cousin, she's an older lady now, but they would go, her and her husband got on a deal. They were going all up and down the eastern seacoast. I mean, they were going like North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, up through there. And she was on purpose they was going to these Airbnb or these bed and breakfast places, and y'all, they had some of the craziest crap. And you know, really, I hadn't talked to her in years, and I hadn't thought to ask Mom, but she may have passed away because she would have to now. She would have to be in her early 80s if she's still alive. But I know her husband about 10 years ago. Me and my dad was still alive then, but we was kind of aggravating him about them going on their expeditions. And he's like, damn it. He said, I don't know what she's getting us into. Said, I don't know. And said, I'm about done with this bullshit. He said they'd went somewhere in North Carolina and said that they had rented this. It was like an old plantation house. They had rented a room and they were on the second floor. And he said, this was like a big, like would have been one of the master bedrooms. And they rented it. It was like renting a motel room. And, you know, of course, they didn't have a bathroom in there. You had to come out, go down the hallway to use the bathroom. But he said that it was just him and her. So they went in there and locked up the door and got everything ready to go to bed and laid down in the bed. And he said they had like a sheet, a blanket, and a comforter on top of them. You know, they're laying between the sheets. And he said, look, we had turned the lights off. And he said, I mean, it was dark, like no light whatsoever, no night light, no nothing. And he said, just about the time that they were fixing to, like, sure enough, doze off. He said, it done got quiet. Everything was still. He said, it was like the Incredible Hulk grabbed the blanket, the comforter, and the sheet at the foot of their bed. And he said, it like nearly rug burnt his private parts when they jerked it off of him. And he said, damn, he went hollering, his wife screaming. She grabbed the damn lamp, turned it on. And he said, so help me God, said about 10 foot from the foot of the bed. He said, every article that was on top of them, all those linens was piled up in a wad like they had slammed into the door and just piled up right at the foot of the door.
Yeah, I'd have left.
I said, what in the hell did y'all do? He said, I tell you what, my ass didn't sleep no more that night. He said, she laid over and slept. I sat there with a light on.
I worked for so long that and I've had insomnia since I was a little. I can remember 4 years old, and I remember the age because that was before my sister was born. I can remember laying in bed at night and just watching. You know, at night you learn the patterns of what little ambient light comes through your window or something. You learn the pattern. You know when daylight's coming, this, that, and the other. I can remember just laying there. But the insomnia lasted into adulthood. And doctor would put me on medication. And, you know, it's great if you can take it and not be interrupted. But no, not me. I would take it. And then next thing you know, I'm up cleaning the house or mowing the lawn or something. But there'd be times I'd go 3 or 4 days without sleep. I don't know how I did it. I mean, you know, it's bad. You know when you want to make a picture bigger on your phone, you take your fingers and you do that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'd get so tired. I was at work at the vending machine doing that, try to see what was in the vending machine. That was crazy. I said, that's it. I got it. I can't do this anymore. But there were nights in my adulthood that I can remember laying there and I would hear things. And my husband worked midnights too. So if I was home asleep or trying to sleep, he'd be at work. And it would just, and then what sleep I would have, I wouldn't know if it was sleep or not. I would have these dreams, and it would just be like being in my bedroom. And I would hear noises, and I really think there was something in that house, or the people that owned the house before us, they had a lot of health issues when they moved in. Guess who had a lot of health issues when she moved in? Old girl here. And that's one thing that I got into with my friend. I said, I think there's something in my house. I saged everything.
Wow.
And she always told me, she said, you're empathic. You take on, you are very sensitive. And okay, makes sense. But things, roll. I've never really, other than going to Moundsville and down to Radford, Virginia, and I've had people have me come to their house. Will you feel anything? Like, no. I'm not going to come to your house and tell you, yeah, you got a demon behind the door over there. I'm not going to do that.
Well, Hillary, let me ask you something. It's going to sound like down little possum right now, but let me ask you this. Have you ever had any near-death experiences? You ever been hit by lightning?
It's kind of funny. At the time, maybe I didn't know it. I mentioned I had gastric bypass surgery back in 2003, sorry.
Okay.
And one thing, if anybody out there's had it, I had it back in the early days. They weren't exactly sure what all the ramifications were going to be down the road. Well, and they tell you after you have one, they really don't want you to have a kid for 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
Well, big girl here, she up and has one within 16 months.
Oh, wow.
Everything was fine. I mean, I had no problems. But after he was born, or actually, I guess during the pregnancy, the doctor noticed my iron was low. And let's see, I'm not exactly a poster child for do as I, hey, you're not supposed to do this after you have surgery. You're supposed to do this. I wouldn't take my vitamins like I was supposed to. I just, if I felt okay, I was happy. Well, I started getting these like hypoglycemic episodes. I was working a shift at the time. It was, I did it for only 2 or 3 months, where we would have lunch at 6 o'clock in the evening, which was apparently a bad time for me to have lunch, because when I'd come back, within an hour, I'm on the floor. I mean, my sugar would bottom out. Well, they took me to the hospital one evening, and they took my blood, and they said, "Oh my God, your iron is so low," this, that, and the other. And they didn't have time to type match. They knew I was positive, but didn't. I guess there's a big to do to go through to make sure they give you the right blood. And the nurse was sitting there. She said, "No, listen," she said, "there is a very, very slight chance that you might have a bad reaction to this blood." She said, "if you feel anything funny at all." I said, "What, aside from the fact that I'm watching you put blood into my body," which is really weird. It's strange to watch it go in. Weird to watch it come out, but even weirder to watch it go in. She said, "if you feel anything at all, you need to let me know." The very second that, and I watched it, and normally I wouldn't have done it, that the minute that blood hit my skin, or into my vein, I started blacking out.
Oh, wow.
And it was, I guess, after the fact, I guess what happened, I could have died had I not, they not realized what was going on. But next thing I know, there are 20 or 30 people over top of me.
Oh, wow.
But they didn't last very long. So I don't know that I consider that a near-death experience. But now, my first husband, before he passed away, he was in Pittsburgh awaiting a liver transplant. And again, I had fought with this anemia, my anemic issue, my iron, level for years, off and on. Yeah. I would have iron transfusions. It was that bad. My sister-in-law had called me, and she said, "Listen, you need to get the girls here." He and I had 2 girls together. Abby was 16 and Maddie was 17. And she said, I don't think Fred's going to make it the weekend. So, and I was in the throes of one of these episodes where I was very lethargic. I had even crawled to the front door to open the door for the mailman. That was how. But it was stupid on my part. So I got in the car and I drove these girls to Pittsburgh. I mean, it's bad when I was on I-79 in Weston, West Virginia. And I'm sorry, yeah, Weston, just outside of Weston. On the floor, face down in a Go-Mart because I'm so sick.
Oh, wow.
And when I got to Pittsburgh, we got to Pittsburgh Medical Center. I don't know if you've ever been there, but it is one of the biggest medical campuses I've ever seen in my life. I got the girls to his room, and I mean, it was, I'm telling you, it felt like I was walking underwater. It was just, but I had to do what I had to do. It was obviously. We got into his room, and he was awake. He looked over me, but couldn't speak. But he could do, what do you call it? What is that? Morse code? Yeah. And the nurse had been in the military. They had worked out some sort of system where she could understand what he was saying. And she looked at me and she said, "Are you sick?" I said, "Yeah." She said, and she looked at him, and what he had said to her was, "What's wrong with her?" I mean, I've been with him since I was 15 years old. So, he knew me very well. Anyway, so I got out into the hallway, and happened to be at the triage station. They took me, put me in a wheelchair and wheeled me over to the emergency room. And I didn't finish nursing school. I got pregnant and just got scared. of being in a medical setting with a baby on the way.
Yeah.
Anyway, when I got into the emergency room, by this time the story had traveled across campus to the ER. The doctor came in and they'd already drawn blood and whatnot. And he came in, he slammed his clipboard down on the table and he said, "Are you trying to make your girls orphans this weekend?" I said, "I'm sorry." He said, "Your hemoglobin is 2." He said, "I've never seen anybody alive with a hemoglobin that's 2. But I had passed out. And I mean, I don't really remember. I don't know that you'd call that a near-death experience because I don't remember anything happening I don't remember floating above myself. But yeah, those 2 times are probably the 2 times that if I had an NDE, that would have been it. I've never been struck by lightning, I don't think.
All right. Let me ask you something else.
Mm-hmm.
You ever had any like deja vu?
No, all the time.
Really?
All the time. I will just be somewhere and I'll be, I've seen this before. I've done this before. But no, I can't go. I can't sit there and tell you so-and-so is going to say this, but I don't know that. But it's like a situational deja vu. It's not necessarily that I can predict what's going to happen, but it's a situation. I've seen that. I've heard this conversation before, or I've seen this TV, something.
Yeah.
Something. But it's not something that's just like familiar to me. It's just that it is something that God, I can't even talk. It's getting late.
Well, let me ask you this: if you've had that pretty much your whole life, though.
Oh yeah, I thought everybody did. I mean, things that have happened to me, I've always thought that, I'm nothing wrong with me. I'm just normal as everybody else.
Well, let me ask you something else.
Mm-hmm.
The older you get, you think that it's about the same as it's always been, or does it seem like it's got less or more, or what?
I think it's gotten more, but it may just be because I'm aware of it.
Yeah. Okay.
Like the thing with boogers, I've never seen one. Now, the farm that I told you about at the beginning of my spiel, the friends I grew up with, this farm was a big farm, and we, back then, I'm 53 years old. Back then, if you weren't in school, sorry, I know that if you weren't in school, my butt was out the door at 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. I didn't come home until it got so dark that I couldn't see, or I heard my mom screaming at me. And looking back on it, I would pitch a fit if I thought my grandkids were out doing the things that we did. I mean, we chased snakes. We played in the creeks where there were leeches.
Oh yeah.
But I can remember it again. It goes back to you got a hillside coming down here and a hillside coming down here, and you got a little bottom in the middle. And that's the way their farm was. And I can remember walking down, we called it the big bottom. And it was snickered when we said it. If we would go down there, we would hear things walking up in the woods. But I can specifically remember saying somebody's up in the woods. We never saw anything. Don't know what it was. It could have been a squirrel. It could have been a raccoon. It could have been a deer. Because at the time, the 2 legs as opposed to 4 legs, we didn't know. But looking back on it, there were all kinds of strange things that the farmhouse, that the original farmhouse to that farm was down here, and we know it was haunted. And Stephanie lives in it now, and she won't admit to it because I know if she did, she'd leave.
Yeah.
But there were all kinds of strange things that happened all the way around there. And I know there are boogers there. I know because I can remember, and this may just be, I don't know if it was, when things that happen when you're a kid, you look back on it and you're like, did it really happen? Was it my imagination, or did I exaggerate it? But I can remember, we had the house we lived in. When I say subdivision, they called it a subdivision, but it was a country subdivision. All of the lots were huge, and there was no pattern to the way the houses were. It was not a structured subdivision. Well, the farm that Stephanie and Philip's family owned was right next to it. What was that, Misty?
Did you hear that too?
Yes.
What was that?
I don't know. I don't know. I was seeing a lot.
I'll tell you if a booger comes up behind you, okay? I'll be like, Misty, hey.
Yeah, I can't see my hand in front of my face over this way, and It's
the anyway, the house we lived in was a what is it? My dad called it. My dad built it. It was a bi-level. Yeah, bi-level. You walked in and you had one, to the right was one level, and then you could either go up the steps or you could go down the steps. Not a mid-entry, but
Yeah.
it's irrelevant anyway.
Here in Alabama, we call it split level.
Yeah, that's split level. Now, yeah, what did I say? Bi-level? That was a haircut. That was a haircut. Never mind. I'm nuts. My cat's kicking me. She's having a dream. Sadie, it's okay. You're my baby girl. Anyway, okay, sorry.
I don't know.
Yeah, Misty's got boogers. So I can remember, and there weren't a lot of TV shows on about Bigfoot, but if there would have been, I'd have been watching it. The closest thing I can come up with at that time may have been Star Wars, Chewbacca.
Yeah.
But I swear, I don't know if it was a dream. Our house, the basement, the recreation room, there was it was like a 3/4 basement. We had a short window around the sides of it.
Yeah.
I swear, I used to go down there and I would just go to sleep watching TV. And in the summertime, I would have those curtains open and the windows up because it was cool. I swear I woke up one time, saw something looking in at me. Now I may be crazy. It could have been my dog for all I know, but I swear in my mind, I remember it looked like a booger.
Yeah.
But I doubt it. I would never say that it was, but it just, but I know they were around there because looking back of some of the things that happened, how the dog, animals would just go missing. My friends, they had cattle and there was all kinds of, strange things that would happen. They had horses and the horses had strange things, just things that look, just little snippets of things that I recall that I don't really have a lot of contact with either one of them anymore, but I want to go back up. I miss that place so bad. Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's fine. No,
I don't know. You asked me.
All right, Misty, what else you got to talk about? Because we're going to be long. We're pushing hour and a half for this actually being on here.
Yeah, I'm running off my hotspot, and we done 3 hours off of it last week, so I don't know how much is going to be left on it on my phone. I don't want to.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we got to deduct from midnight. We lost about 17 minutes. I mean,
you did.
Talking.
Oh my God. We ain't even going to talk about that again because I don't know what the crap.
So
I'm sitting around thinking, what in the heck? See, at the end of DA's podcast this evening, I always hang in there like a hair on a biscuit at the very end of these podcasts. I don't know why. I'm just lazy to hit the button. But it started buffering. And I heard, and then when it picked up and I heard him, he put in the chat something about YouTube having an issue with the studio. I don't know. And I thought, that's what I thought was going on with you guys.
It showed that we were live. I never even knew that it had not come on.
I really got epiphanies.
I don't know what happened. It was.
Think about it. It played the intro.
It played the intro and it came up because you got to hit it twice.
Yeah.
So literally it said live and then we weren't. But I didn't realize it. I just kept wondering, why is it not showing how many people's in here and why isn't everybody ignoring when we're talking to them?
Yeah.
We planned it that way before you got on. Don't nobody respond to that.
I felt like me and Misty, it was like we was down like back in the South and people used to go dry set with somebody. They just go in there and sit, not speak. I thought, well, damn, they just uppity today. They don't even talk to us.
Yeah, they had enough of us today. They just hanging out
and had enough there.
Be nice.
I'm going to ignore them now. Oh, I'm cussing. I'm sorry. See, I just
kept wondering why
I don't see the chat. And I forget these people on here that might be respectable.
I kept wondering why they kept saying something about woodwalkers being asleep. I was like, are we that bored? I mean, I know we are, we're
Golly, we're bad, but we ain't asleep. Come on now. Well, Hillary, let me ask you, are you going to be able to come to the meet and greet?
I want to so bad, but I can't.
Oh, come on now.
I can't this time. I want to so bad. You don't know. I was going to suggest like a live webcam. Just set one up. I'll just pop in and spy on you, and everybody can say, "I feel like something's watching us." It is. It's Hillary. She's up here.
Well, I really hope. Now, look, with the odds of us having a lot better service there, maybe, and I really hope we do get to do several lives. And look, I'm the world's worst about forgetting to take pictures. Hell, I didn't take a single picture at the LBL. Not one. Not a picture did I take of nothing.
I'm that way with pictures of my grandkids. I got all kinds of pictures of the first one. Some of the, a lot of the second one, a lot of the third one, fourth one. I don't even know what he looks like.
And honestly, I mean, we kind of pick at Wendell, but shit, Wendell was like the hero photographer.
Hey,
Wendell said, yeah.
If you're like me, you need to assign tasks to people.
He said, "I'll record it."
Yes.
My problem is I try to do everything myself. Like if I was running a meet and greet, I'd be wanting to do the cooking because and I'll sit and watch everybody when they take that first bite and make sure it's good. I sit down beside people and watch them. I work in a coffee shop, and I'll take food to them, and I'm like, "Is it okay?" And they get a complex. Everyone, you can leave now.
Hey, look, I'm not kidding you. If I can find one of those Kolchak Night Stalker hats, I'm getting it from Wendell. That way he'd be like walking around with his camera.
Well, yeah, or the glasses with the camera on them.
Yes.
I'm gonna bring him a hall monitor badge.
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna put him to work.
Misty, my aunt that's in, I guess maybe Verby's still up, but she back when my cousins, her two sons was in high school, they were both in the band. And she put together everywhere they went, she would take pictures. And oh my God. That would have been priceless. That would have been awesome, priceless. Because
he went off. He was like, "Don't you ever hug me like that again." He said, "If somebody,
you would have thought it was."
He said, "If somebody that took a picture of you hugging me and my wife had seen that," he said,
"She'd have killed me."
I literally, Spencer, he had his back to me and I hugged him around his neck while he was sitting down. I said, "It ain't like I was climbed all up in your lap." We're gonna make sure that happens next time, and somebody's gonna get pictures of it because you know how I have to give him hell about everything.
Have you met his wife?
No.
No.
Don't exist. You don't exist.
But anyway, what I was saying about my aunt, and Verby's still in here, V. Burton, she took pictures of her boys in the whole, like the Oak Grove band down here in Hueytown. She took pictures of them and made a big scrapbook, like a giant, massive scrapbook. And they actually got to go play at the Rose Bowl. I think it was the Rose Bowl parade. And they marched in that. And that was the deciding factor, was all the pictures she had took of them kids. So really? She told me, she's got a big $100 camera, and she's told me that she's going to be taking a bunch of pictures. So they're coming to the meet and greet at Talladega.
Yeah, I'm seeing stuff, but I'm not saying anything.
I haven't seen any.
Look at there. Not kidding. There was a shadow go across by the hanging lights. Hey, y'all, look at it right now. It looks like she's got something. If she'll move just right and set up, it looks like she's got wings.
My chair's too short.
Hey, that reminds me. When I watch
Jessica,
the Cryptid Hunter, you guys ever watch her? When she turned to the left and that chair comes out from behind her, one night I was half asleep, didn't have my glasses on, had the iPad laying there, and I woke up just in time to see her swing to the right, and it looked like a person behind her. Oh, it scared me to death, but it wasn't live, so I couldn't tell her.
Wow.
It wasn't. It was her chair. Because I noticed every other time I've watched it. But I'm like, oh no, something's going there.
Me and Misty both was doing a live with River one night, and the damn curtains beside him would stretch out and just stay there and go back down. Billy Schilling was doing a chat with River, saw the curtains move, but in the curtains, Billy Schilling saw from chest up, like a woman's face or apparition or whatever. And he told River that it looked like it was a woman wearing a turtleneck. And it was like River's sister-in-law that had just died. And that's what she wore all the time, was turtleneck shirts. Yeah, that's creepy.
Turtlenecks in Australia, way off a hot.
That's what's weird. Like right now, they're just fixing to go into spring, and we're up here going into fall.
Wow.
Yep.
I'd love to go. My first husband wanted to go to Australia so bad. He wanted to go there, and he wanted to go to Alaska. So when you guys talk about Alaska, I think, oh, he'd love that. He would love that.
What is that? PJ has a surprise for us.
Uh-oh.
Look at there. I don't know what it is, but
Booger with her.
I'm excited about it, PJ.
Oh, Sadie, quit it.
PJ, look, PJ is going to be signing a bunch of autographs, whether she likes it or not, because everybody's want her autograph. I want her autograph.
I just seen that glitch just then.
What happened?
My computer just glitched. I guess it's where I'm running off my hotspot. I think that's what kicked me off last time. I think it thinks I'm leaving it going.
I still think back in them days at AOL when you had to log in and you heard all that squealing and screeching, and I'd go to look at a picture. It'd take me 20 minutes to download a picture. Oh, God. I'd forget about it by the time it downloaded.
That's the way my internet still is.
Yeah.
That would see. My son's 19, and he after he got out of high school, he met this girl online. He took off and moved to New York. Now he's got his own house. He's got a job. He's doing really good. And I'm like, dude, I haven't seen you for a year. But when he was here, he gamed all the time. And he reminds me so much of DA's son, Noah. Every time I see Noah, I get so excited. I'm like, oh, you look just like my son. So when he was here, we upgraded the internet. It's like, it's internet into the future. It's really good. I'm very happy with it.
Yeah.
Pay for it.
Well, y'all, we may have to wrap this up right quick. No, because Misty's probably, her internet's probably fixing to go haywire. But
I keep checking it on my phone to see, because I'm wondering if that's what's.
Well, Misty, once again, I'm amazed that this late at night we've still got a show and 87 people in here with us.
It's because I'm here.
We had 90 something while ago.
Oh,
let Wendell do all the pictures.
Yes.
Hillary, thank you very much for coming on and telling your stories.
Yes.
You got up with a name for me, and I mean, okay, you're Squirrel and he's Possum. I was thinking of myself as Groundhog, but no, it makes me no.
Hey, look, we'll come up if you want a nickname. We'll come up one. It may take us a little bit.
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna start calling her Titty Whipper.
Oh, I was in tears the other night.
Hey, look.
I mean, laughing about that because like I said, there's a bump down the road, and every time we go to hit that thing, and the truck that we had at the time when it really got bad, it was everywhere.
Hey, look, me and Misty all week have chuckled back and forth about the Chernobyl goats.
I guess I didn't get in on the beginning of that live last week.
No.
I didn't know about it. I just happened to look and I'm like, hey, they're in there talking about me or something. I better get on there.
Oh my God.
I assume people talk about me all the time. Kat, would you quit it? I'm about to declaw this.
Misty, I'm pretty sure if nobody else enjoyed last week, I think Catherine had.
Oh my gosh. That was,
I laughed.
That was funny. My husband comes in. He says, "What are you here laughing about?" I'm like, "You,
Misty. We got people in trouble."
See, when my
bad influences.
When my son moved out, I moved into the other bedroom because I'm just old and cranky, and we didn't like to watch the same things on TV.
That's the best sleep I get is whenever JR gets up to go to work.
Yeah, and I keep telling him, I said, ain't nothing again, you're nothing, but just get out.
Yep.
Been hanging around for 20 years. I'm done.
I got one more thing I got to ask Hillary. Hillary, please tell me that you know Jessica White, like you've met him or something.
Who? I don't want no runny eggs.
No doubt. I swear, I'm going to finally meet somebody from West Virginia that actually knows Jessica White.
I've never met him, but hold on just a second. I can do an imitation. Hold on. Let me find it here. Oh, Lordy. I'm about to fall over. Hold on. Mm-hmm. Oh, come on. Okay, now I've got to set this thing down. Okay, hold up.
Uh-oh. Camera down.
Yeah, hold up. Say your fat butt, cat. Oh, my cat. She thinks she's a person. Okay, here he is. Do you remember the episode where Jeff did this? He had a bottle of, what was it, a mating call or something?
Yeah.
My favorite is the Boone County Ninja.
Yes.
Now, see, I'm closer to Boone County.
Really? The West Virginia Ninja?
West Virginia Ninja and
Diamond.
Ninjetta.
That's Diamond Dave.
The Ninjetta. Now, is it the same? No, is this the same one? I mean, I'm talking years ago, back on Jerry Springer. This dude popped up, him and his Ninjetta. Is it the same one? I don't really know. Boone County mating call.
Yeah.
I thought it was Logan County. See, my husband's ex-wife is from down there somewhere, and he's always just carrying on about her, but I'm not going to get into that one. Now, see, she has a name called the Shrew. He calls her the Shrew. So don't call me the Shrew.
Misty.
Call me the
What did I miss out on? I mean, Christy's saying C won't answer that question. What question? Did I miss one?
I can't see the chat. If I hit the chat button, what's going to happen? It will blow up on me? I'm not going to hit it. I've been lost.
Everybody bring Sharpies. Is that?
Hmm?
Well, yeah, I mean, everybody bring. I don't know what she's talking about.
I don't either. I don't see it.
Where's
You
my
missed
phone?
it, Greg.
I missed it.
Say it again, Chris.
I think some of the chat it don't pop up on here. I mean,
well, the only chat that pops up on my screen is what. Oh heck!
yeah, what Misty's posted.
I done lost my phone.
All right, y'all. We're gonna
Sadie, come here.
We're gonna wrap up. I'm gonna read Jen's story, and we're gonna be done. So,
Once upon a time, there was a little possum.
Sadie, you're on chat.
He was a karate ninja possum.
She's so mad at me.
What are you going to be reading this story out of, Misty?
Out of a book. Hold on. It's just a little short story. Just a little tiny one.
I got to go back and finish listening to DA's story. I missed the first part of that one.
Oh, I don't know if Haywood's coming or not, Christy. I don't know.
Where?
I hope he does. He needs to. If he don't, he's going to miss out. Chad, man, glad y'all stayed in here with us. Brother, we'll be seeing y'all in about less than 3 weeks.
Next time I'll take my hair down, fix myself up, and turn the light on. Hey, if I could run around in the dark all the time, well, I do run around in the dark. I'd be happy.
Not Ray. We love you.
All right. Come back here. White trash kitty.
Do we need theme music for this story you're going to read?
No. I was just waiting to see if Hillary had something else she wanted.
I can go on and on. What you want to talk about?
To any more ghost stories or whatever before we.
Well, you know, I
we're
have
going on 2 hours.
That stuff somewhere. I've got a list, and I know and I couldn't find it if I had to because now I can't find my phone.
Well, you're going to have to put something together, and we have another open night. We're going to look. Y'all seen Hillary? She didn't have no physical harm come to her or nothing embarrassing. Maybe not too bad. So look, y'all, some of these other folks out here, y'all come on, talk with us. Everybody wants to talk to you. I promise.
I wanted to start my own podcast years ago, never did. I don't know what I'd talked about, but I'd probably still be talking.
Me and Misty don't have nothing to talk about, but we're pretty good at winging it.
Oh my God. Now you want to hear a talker. My husband, he talks about, I don't know what he's talking about half the time. I'm like, huh? Okay. Whatever you say.
I don't even know what I talk about most of the time.
He can talk on the table.
If what you got? Got something going on.
Did you hear that?
No. I was motor mouthing.
I should put my headphones in. I had them in my hand a minute ago.
What it sound like?
It was a moan or something, like a.
Uh-oh.
JR's belly growling.
No, I don't know. I don't know. I can't see nothing over. It's just completely dark.
How?
Did you hear it? I don't even have a flashlight out here.
Ray, we don't do nothing abruptly. We have to work our way into it.
PJ said we was hearing that earlier.
See, I heard something earlier, but nobody else said nothing about it. I thought it was just me.
We could probably do that for sure.
Yeah.
I heard white noise at just that moment. Now I'm hearing something.
Yeah. Something's messing up on her sound.
Yeah, it's humming really bad.
Yeah.
Hillary, I'm going to take you out so we can close up the show.
Better?
Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, Hillary, appreciate it. And look, we'll be talking to you.
Oh, I promise I will not look like I've been pulled out of a stump backwards the next time.
Hey, that's great. But hey, girl, thanks for coming on with us. And we'll talk to you soon.
All righty. See you later.
Bye. Have a good night.
I'm going to bed if I can move this cat out of my way.
There you go.
Lemon.
Still getting a little. You
Do I need to hit leave?
Yeah, just hit end, chat.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Hillary. All right, guys. Well, thank you all for being on. We apologize again for being late. We didn't actually know we were late.
No. Little twisted. You're going to have to come in here with us one night. You got to. Come on. Look there, Kimmy. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Yeah. One thing you can count on, Misty, or three things you can count on. That's death, taxes, and Christy going to be in here with us.
All right. Well, let's see.
Look, y'all. Hey, if y'all enjoyed our goofiness, y'all give us that thumbs up and tell your buddies about us. Because me and Misty, we doing this as a trial run. We don't waste nobody's time. But if y'all get a little chuckle or laugh out of us, hit that like for us.
And we promise next time to be more prepared. This was look. I tried to talk Greg into waiting, but Greg talks me into shit. And
yeah, I don't know how.
We were kind of unprepared, but
But I mean, hey, we was at least prepared and done better last week, I thought. But hey, maybe we at least got a smile out of somebody and kept their attention a little bit tonight.
Oh, let's see. Sorry, y'all. I'm just trying to catch up on the comments. So,
Blue, look, we put you on here with us too.
We love you too, Christy.
Yeah.
Kimmy said she loved it. All right, we're going to end it with a little story out of the Ghosts of Virginia. So I figured since Spencer wasn't here, we'd kind of tell something.
Yeah.
See if I can see it with or put my glasses on.
Now we break out our glass. Now we got our darn librarian look going.
I can't see. I'll have to get a light probably. Y'all forgive me if, because I'm having a hard time seeing. But it's Hooded Visions Rise from the Mist. I gotta get a light. Hold on. You're going to have to give me just a second. Let's see. I'll have to turn this off because I have to have it a lot and it's not going to work without it. So, all right. Before we get off here, Greg, anything else though that you want to tell anybody about any graveyards or anything spooky or?
No, I'm going to have to save up what I got. We'll need it for the next episode, I guess. And y'all look, and hey, y'all, if y'all got something, no joke, that y'all want us to go over and try to cover, people interested in, put it in the comments after the live. Put her in the comments because we go back and read those comments. Now, sometimes it may be a few days, and y'all, sometimes we can't answer all of them, but a lot of times we'll go through there and read them all. So, and look, y'all, if we don't answer back, that don't mean we don't care. It just means that we got 5,000 people messaging. We're reading all this stuff. So bear with us. We slow. Remember, we're hillbillies. So, but y'all, and look, again, overwhelming that people come on here and find us fascinating enough to watch us. We appreciate y'all. We got big love right here.
That's not me. I think my horse is choking.
Oh no. But yeah, y'all, we appreciate y'all. Everybody that's in there, and big love to everybody. So Misty, I guess if you want to lead us out with this West Virginia, or what'd you say, Virginia or West Virginia?
Nope. The Ghosts of Virginia.
Virginia. And remember,
Hooded visions rise from the mist. I once appeared on a radio show about psychic phenomena with the Reverend Richard Hughes Carter of Williamsburg, a walking encyclopedia on local lore. Reverend Carter told the following true scene. One day in the winter, 5 Colonel Williamsburg historical interpreters, all women, were driven out of St. Petersburg. Epicos, I can't say that word. Episcopal. It's a church. I can't say it. It won't come out.
oh my God. I will skip that word.
Episcopal. That's kind of like Mexicans. I can't say it right either. Mexicans. It sounded quick, didn't it?
I'm getting you a book of Hooked on Phonics.
It's impossible.
Oh my God.
I'm dying. I can't even read. I'm cracking the hell up
Episcopal.
Yes, I can't say that.
When you get that word, say it, and I'll just scream it out.
We talked about this before I started reading. I told you I can't read. I can't read the words. I mean, I can read them, but I can't say them.
Yeah, you can't put it out there.
Yeah. Y'all, look, there's certain words with my little hick accent that don't come out right, so bear with me.
Oh.
Okay. Anyways, it's in New Kent County. One afternoon for a tour of the facilities and a briefing of the history of the church. The ladies were all dressed in the traditional colonial costumes, covered with hooded capes since the weather was a bit nasty. As they left the church late in the afternoon, a mist was rising in the darkening gloom. The ladies pulled their hoods up over their heads and sat down on a bench to await their ride back to Williamsburg. The bench was next to the church cemetery. Soon they heard a vehicle approaching, and assuming this was their driver, the lady arose from the bench. However, it was not their driver. It was a tourist from New Jersey who apparently was lost. From the road in the rising mist, he saw 5 hooded figures in a colonial costume suddenly appear out of nowhere. Among the towering tombstones, the lady said the man let out an audible gasp, slammed his foot on the accelerator, and promptly drove into a tree. Then he backed up, sped off, spinning his tires without ever even bothering to stop to see what damage he had done to his car. And it wasn't him ghosts.
Was that the end of it?
That's it.
Come on now. Okay. I thought you was gonna say, and as he sped away, the tag on his car read, "Virginia is for lovers."
Yeah. I'm fucking dying.
Oh.
I can't even read that word. I cannot say that. I've never been able to say that word, and it just happened to be in that one story.
Oh my God, we're gonna learn how to say Episcopal this week.
I can't say it. I'm telling you, I cannot say it at all. Like I literally Episcopal.
Yeah. So you don't. You want me to say it?
Yes.
Episcopal. Yeah. No, you're close. Right on it. I mean, that's redneck word for it, but yeah, that's what now is Episcopal.
It's close enough. There you go. Hey, look, see, that's why I keep you around, because the words I can't say.
That's why. Hey, look, it's a sad day when you got to fall back on me. But hey, I might tell you, you just got to try it.
I can't. You don't even know. Like, I used to get made fun of so much because I can't say moccasins. Moccasins.
Moccasins.
Moccasins.
No, moccasins. Moccasins.
Moccasins.
No. Come on. Next thing I know, you're gonna be talking about the street you live on.
Muskins.
She's gonna get hurt. They damn lamb.
Ambalam.
Yeah.
Can I say? I can say hippopotamus. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I can't help it. There's certain words I can't help it. They just don't come out right.
Hey, look at Christy. Yes, I got a buddy. He all the time used to when he was growing up. He'd want me to come over and eat spaghetti with him. I'm like, what the hell is spaghetti? Like, man, you know, spaghetti. I'm like, spaghetti.
Yeah, spaghetti.
Yeah, that's what I said. Spaghetti. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, dude. Whoa, wait a minute.
Oh, I'm crying now. That was so funny.
Oh,
I'm trying to think of what was some of the other ones that I can't say, but you know, I'm not giving you no more ammo to on the words I can't say.
yeah. Look here, Robert. The any HVAC words you have a hard time saying. Yeah, it's called extra fees and taxes. Yeah, I have a hard time saying them because man, I got fear.
Oh gosh. Oh, I can't say rear wheel drive. It comes out wrong.
I missed that. I said that one.
Oh, well, I'm glad I'm not the
PJ.
only one.
Oh, PJ.
That's funny. Rear wheel drive. Moccasins.
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 Yes.
Moccasins.
Yes. Look there. Hey, look, Ray, you keep this shit up for about a year and we're going to say you're tenured.
Oh, Lord. It just, when you try to say it, it just comes out mock.
Hells of Bay. Instead of bells of hay, Hells of Bay.
Oh, God. Hills of Bay. Oh, man. Sometimes it's a terrible thing to waste.
Hey, look here. We're falling into No Child Left Behind.
Okay, look. Now, Haywood, you're just being an ass. Epiglottis-ican. Epiglottis. What the? Oh, my cousins. Why do I feel so ridiculous?
Oh,
Say
hey,
my
look.
name. Hillary. Hillary said, "No, mine stop." Shut up, Gracie. Holy shit. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What we got going on here? Hang on.
What you got?
Oh, it's a plane. That freaked me the hell out. There's like a helicopter or something coming over really, really low, and it's like flashing a light at me.
You need a Spencer there going, the plane, the plane, the plane.
Oh my gosh. That's so funny. I'm telling you, it's certain words, but hey.
Yeah.
You'll hear a lot more that I can't say either.
Yeah, look. And see there, look here. Just like a little twisted right there. I mean, look, see the fun you're missing out on. Kimmy, y'all could be a part of this.
Hey, look, you never know what's going to happen with us. I'm just going to tell you.
And y'all just think we put this on as a show, like just for like on Sundays when we're no. This is 7 days. This is 24/7 right here. This is what you see is what you get.
Hey, look, it is what it is.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, read Hillary. I guess she's talking about the plane.
Flash them. No, they got a big spotlight on. They turned it off now.
Oh.
Must be a drug copter.
It may be.
Going with a spotlight on. or looking for a place to land.
Wendell, look here, Wendell. Wendell, I done heard the story about you coming in and waking up and smelling Thanksgiving dinner and ain't nothing been cooked in the house. Where was you at, brother? You could have jumped in here tonight, but no. Where?
Camouflagistic extra Allen wrenches. I said that.
Yeah.
Lord.
So look, I mean, really, y'all. I mean, we just hope y'all had a good time as we did. Cause reason we do this, me and Misty's gonna get a smile on our face and laugh. We just tried to spread the love, and let y'all do the same thing.
That's right. All right, guys. Looking for that. I'm looking for that weed. Not
Misty's ended up smoking. That's her Indian. Now, what it is, it's her Indian heritage. She's out there doing smoke signals.
They're probably coming after me. They heard me try to pronounce the words that I can't say, and they're like, just take her out. She's done. That's the reason aliens are interested in her. They're like, look, this one we gotta study this one. Yeah. We got to do something with her. Why would spirits and boogers and all that go to see her? She can't even talk or read.
we'll get that one because apparently she's on the same brainwave level as their leader.
I'm freaking where I'm crying and I can't see anything. Ray said save the bells. I thought she said save the babies. I was like, I'm not doing nothing to the babies.
Oh Lord.
All right, y'all, it's been over 2 hours. We're gonna have to go to bed.
In all seriousness, y'all, really, bottom of our heart, we appreciate y'all hanging out with us. And, come back next time. We'll chuckle and laugh and act crazy again.
Yeah, I'll tell you some more words I can't say.
Yes.
There's a lot of them, I promise you.
Yeah.
You will hear a lot of stuff I can't say.
Hey, and once again, y'all, really, if y'all enjoyed this at all, throw us a comment after the show, after the live's over. Hit that, and if nothing else, if we at least put a smile on your face, kick on there and give us a thumbs up. There you go. Oh yeah, we stayed on here another 2 hours. It gets plumb ridiculous.
What's all this talk about violins on TV? I don't know.
No, y'all see where our president got shot at? Or number 45 got shot at again today.
On the golf course, I believe it wasn't it.
Oh yeah.
I hadn't even had time to. Steve ain't gone airborne, has he, Wendell? All right, y'all. Well, thank you for hanging out with us. Seriously, I'll try to do better next time. Hey. I'll pick a story ahead of time and make sure it does not have words that I can't say. or maybe I'll pick some, that's got a lot of big words, and we'll just see where it goes. Hey, look, no need for the name calling, Christy.
Oh no. Oh
gosh. All right. Well, we love you guys. Seriously. Thank y'all for hanging out. If you got something, if y'all got something that you want us to kind of stay on topic, sort of, or try to with,
we'll try to.
We're going to try to do pretty much a lot of different stuff, I think, ain't we, as far as like what we talk about. But we're wanting to kind of go more of it being, nighttime, scary, spooky, that type of stuff. But you know us, we can't be serious. So
yeah, I mean, look, I don't give two doodly dams if they want to talk about Halloween midget mud wrestling. We'll throw her out there.
Okay. All right. Well, anything else you want to tell everybody?
Nope. Just beat that in that we appreciate the hell out of them, and just a big thanks to everybody. So without them, it just made me and you sitting here, and we'd get bored eventually.
Wendell, you talking dirty to me, or are you talking dirty to Greg?
Oh my God. I think it's supposed to be a watch. I think it's supposed to be watch. Oh. Hey, Wendell, I know how my phone does that thing. My brother, that's coming off a little creepy there for a second.
Oh. All right. That's it. We're done. We're done.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all. Have a good night, morning, whatever. Bye.